Welcome to Eye on St. Lucie. I'm Carrie Patrick, your host, and today our edition is going to focus on St. Lucie County's Parent Academy. Joining me today for this discussion is Director Kimberly Erdley. Welcome, Kimberly. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you, Carrie. I'm very pleased to be here.
And we know the Parent Academy is really a jewel within the community, serving our parents and our families. Share with us just a little bit about what the purpose of the Parent Academy is in St. Lucie County.
Well, our mission is that we want to see our children succeed. We want to see them succeed in school. We want them to succeed in our community. And the best way to make our children succeed is to make sure our parents are succeeding. So we offer the supports and the education, academic, and both personal, social, and emotional supports that parents need to be successful parents and be engaged with their children.
It's quite a mission that you have.
Yes.
And the Parent Academy did not just spring up in the last few years. It was actually a purposeful part of a partnership that St. Lucie has with Houghton Mifflin Harcourt, we commonly refer to as HMH. In this partnership, we engaged in a 5-year plan to really help bring a richness and a rigor to our educational system and our community through the resources and the opportunities that HMH can provide. A community like St. Lucie County and an educational system that is very, very systemic in its approach to education. We had 4 major goals when we started the initiative. One was to make sure that we provided great opportunities for early learning, making sure that our youngest learners were well prepared when they entered our kindergarten classrooms, and a lot of that deals with parent involvement as well. Secondly, we wanted to focus on the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics opportunities for students. That's commonly referred to as STEAM. But being very arts-oriented in St. Lucie, we turned that into STEAM so that we could infuse the arts. Another thing that we did through the partnership was to infuse our infrastructure of technology, making sure that we had opportunities for not only digital resources, but lesson modules and data resources. And then the 4th leg was to create an opportunity to build stronger families in the community, and that was our Parent Academy.
Yes.
And so we are in the 4th year of our partnership. You have recently taken the helm of this, and I will say that you are everywhere in the community.
I am a community person, yes.
And I think that's fantastic, because that's really something that's going to help our Parent Academy grow. And while you shared a little bit about the purpose of the Parent Academy, I know that its focus is certainly multifaceted, and you've got a wide array of offerings.
We do. And if I could just say a little bit about the Parent Academy, the reason I'm in the community so much is the Parent Academy wouldn't be successful if we don't engage the parents. And I find a lot of times parents don't know about these resources. So if we don't get out there, let the parents know, then they're not taking these classes or workshops that can really benefit them. So that is my goal right now, is making sure that parents are well aware of what we do. And our offerings are early learning, like you mentioned before. We can actually go into the schools and we work with parents to help them see how they can better connect with their children on an academic level, how we can better connect with communication, staying engaged with their school. Because one of the things I have noticed is that a lot of parents are a little intimidated by the school system. They can be intimidated by those teacher meetings, or maybe they're intimidated reading to their own children. Maybe they have a low literacy level, and sometimes they may not be engaging with their children on an academic level because they feel a little embarrassed or a little shy, or that they're not at the level that they could educate their child. So we provide courses in early learning. We help parents see different tools and take tools home that they can use with their children to increase not only the children's literacy skills, but theirs also. Making sure that they feel comfortable reading to a story and pointing out rhyming words, making sure they understand, you know, the inferencing that goes on in a story and how to bring a child's awareness to those things. So just questions and things that are really simple to put in everyday life. And in addition to that, we also have English as a second language class. A lot of our children in our schools are doing a phenomenal job with their English learning in schools, but the parents don't have that same opportunity. So the Parent Academy for free offers English as a second language, so parents can come in, learn English, and while they're learning English, they actually get education in health literacy, nutrition, and a holistic approach to parenting. So it's multifaceted, as you said. We also have our Parenting in the 21st Century that will be rolling out in the fall. And that is all about the social media, internet safety, making sure that your children are utilizing these tools properly, because we can't be afraid of social media. We can't be afraid of the internet. It is a part of our lives now. It's a very active part of our lives. It's how we're all getting our information. So we need parents to make sure that they're using it appropriately, the kids are using it appropriately, and giving them tools and skills to monitor their children, and making sure that they're not afraid of the social media, that they utilize it.
And you know, that's an awesome segue. First of all, teaching children how to read. I saw you at the Family Reading Festival this past weekend, and you were right there working with children and parents, teaching the children how to read. Those type of community events are so important to St. Lucie as a whole.
Yes.
But you mentioned social media, and I just came from one of our high schools because we are piloting Access Now, access to content 24/7 at Fort Pierce Westwood and Fort St. Lucie High School. And again, because you are so involved in the community, you came up as a wonderful resource for supporting our efforts to teach students and families about digital citizenry and what it means to be responsible using all of these tools that we now have available to us that, you know, years ago that wasn't the way we did business. So there is a learning curve, and it's not just the children that need to know, it is the parents.
Yes.
When do you think these courses will get underway? You said they are being planned right now.
Right. We are finishing up our curriculums, and we're looking at rolling that out late July, 1st of August. And we're going to pilot those at some of our elementary schools and maybe now Westwood.
I think that would be a grand thing to do.
Yes.
And which is great because, you know, you're such a partner in the community. You were born here, you were raised here. We definitely see the passion that you have for supporting St. Lucie County as a whole, and the work that you do is certainly inspirational to others. Where do you get that endless supply of energy to be supportive and to network? Because you certainly have a very large network, and your background is deep in the area of.
I think it's the passion I have, to be honest with you. I absolutely love what I do. I believe in what I do. So I'll tell you a little personal story. Maybe this will help. I did not plan to be a parent, and it came upon me at 30. And when I decided that I was going to be a mother, I wanted to be the best mother I could be. And I made the decision to leave corporate America at that time, and I wanted to work in my community. I wanted a community that was strong. I wanted a community that my children were proud to grow up in. And I'm very proud of graduating from St. Lucie Public Schools. And I wanted my children to have that same pride. And as I looked around, as a graduate from Westwood, I saw that some areas of Fort Pierce, some areas of Port St. Lucie really hadn't had a lot of change. And we were still struggling with issues like poverty. And we were still struggling with parent support, mainly. And I didn't know where to turn when I became a parent. There's no manual. Outside of what we learned from our own parents, there was nobody that really could teach me how to be an effective parent. There was books and the internet, but nobody that could actually say, you know what's going to happen? Here's some good advice. Here's some tools. So I was fortunate enough that I came across a position that was a community position and community outreach, and it was working with parents, and I absolutely loved it from day one. And I could see parents, I could see their attitudes change when I got up there, and I shared with them my own experiences. I let them share their experiences. I heard where they needed support. I heard where they needed resources. And it just became something I truly love doing. And I feel that it is a need. And I think that St. Lucie County is very unique and lucky in the fact that we have the Parent Academy. And I want to see more parents utilize it and have children that benefit from it. My children have really benefited from those parenting classes I took early on, and it made my parenting a little easier, I have to be honest with you. Just knowing positive discipline and boundaries and consistency, things that you, again, are never really taught. You bring that beautiful baby home, but once they get to 2, 3, and you're disciplining, it's nice to have somebody that can say, hey, maybe try this. Maybe you could use this tool. And it does make a difference. It really does.
That's a beautiful story. I too am a graduate of St. Lucie Public Schools. However, I was at Fort Pierce Central, the Cobras.
Uh-oh.
Maybe we had a little rivalry on the football field, but both my children graduated from St. Lucie Public Schools as well. And certainly providing opportunities to help support parents. You mentioned earlier, sometimes it's a little intimidating to go into a parent meeting, but with the support and services that you provide, being aware of some instructional strategies at home, some behavioral strategies, really cements that partnership between what parents can do in support of teachers and what teachers can do in support of parents to raise our children to be the very best they can be.
Most definitely. And I would love to see those barriers come down. I would love to see more of a partnership between parents and teachers. I feel sometimes there is a dialogue in our community, and people seem to pit teachers and parents against each other, and I don't understand that, because both parents and teachers want the same thing. We want successful children. So it's about overcoming those myths and those limiting beliefs, and that's really part of my mission, personal mission, is to overcome that so that parents do feel more confident when they go in there and less intimidation. And same for teachers. I want teachers to be comfortable when they're talking with parents. So a lot of times it's just, how do you communicate with a teacher? What questions should you ask a teacher? So we actually have a workshop that we're developing on how to get the most out of your parent-teacher conferences so that people do feel confident with what they're going into, prepared for these meetings so that they can come home and implement maybe some new strategies or take some additional parenting courses to get, again, the success of that child. That's really what we're aiming at. And
we personally have felt that reaching out and positive receiving of information, just as we have felt that we can reach out to you and receive information in a partnership, and that's fantastic, because partnerships are the way that we grow an organization. And not only St. Lucie Public Schools working, in partnership with you, because certainly we've talked about how we can share one another's calendars and events and promote the sessions and put Parent Academy at the center of the table when we're having those conversations. But there are also businesses in the community that, through your networking and through your background in working this type of work before and corporate America, you're really maximizing some of the connections and contacts you have to support Parent Academy. Tell us a little bit about your plans for growing that partnership.
Well, I think if we're really looking at strengthening a community and we're really looking at supporting parents, that also depends on our economic situation here in the county. And a lot of times I hear from parents that they can't find a better job, or they can't find career growth, or they want to move up but they're not sure how to do that. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you hear employers, we can't find qualified staff, we're having trouble filling this position. So one of the things that is important to the Parent Academy is that we reach out to our local businesses, our small businesses, our large corporations, and let them know from an HR perspective that we have these parents who are bettering themselves, who are taking English classes, who are taking math classes, that are wanting to be better employees, and helping them strengthen their own employee base inside the corporation. So we have a large company that I've just talked with that has a lot of migrant workers that work for them, and one of the things that they want to do is they want to ensure that the parents are increasing their attendance, not having a lot of they're not being tardy for work a lot, sorry. That they're not tardy for work, that they're not taking sick days to take care of their children, that they are developing a career path, that they're looking at improving their skills. So they are actually going to be sending their staff through some of our classes. And they may only come for English, but we have other classes that we're going to include in that, as I said, nutrition, health, positive parenting, things that when they're there learning English, they're also getting these parenting skills. And we're going to talk to them about developing a work plan for your career path. What skills do you want, to learn so that you can go further in your career? We also recently reached out to a large chain of supermarkets that is interested in partnering with us and increasing not just their clientele, but again, they're employees to come for career path and helping with English. So it has been beneficial, and I have seen that a lot of our small and large businesses are really embracing this from an economic perspective.
That was where my mind was going, economic development for St. Lucie County. Tremendous.
Yes. Well, if we, again, want to be successful all the way around, it's a multi-prong approach, and it takes all of us. It takes a village, right? So, and these partnerships, like you said, partnerships and collaborations, I think, are really key.
And partnerships continue to grow. So if a business or a member of a business is listening and perhaps they wanted to get involved, what steps do they take to say, you know what, I want to be part of the solution in St. Lucie County. How can I get involved with the Parent Academy?
I would ask them to call me directly. So I would have them call me directly, and we could discuss what their needs are and what we offer here at the Parent Academy. Have them come in for a tour, let them see the Parent Academy and all the resources we have. We have great computers and curriculums and libraries. But I'd also talk to them about how we can come to them, because parents a lot of time have barriers, transportation barriers, childcare barriers. So let's talk about how can we serve your staff. Is it something that we can come there, do workshops at lunchtime maybe, so that they're engaged at lunchtime, maybe after work. So it's about that communication. So call me directly so that we can set that up.
Solution-minded, and you have a very flexible staff as well to help support you, although small, but very dedicated.
Very dedicated
about what they do.
I have an awesome staff. I am very happy to say they are quite committed and enthusiastic.
So that's how businesses can get in touch with you. That really holds true for anyone in the community that is listening, or has a friend that is listening. If they want to contact the Parent Academy, it is certainly a very open door.
Most definitely.
For all of our citizens.
Yes.
Now, you've got a website, and on that website, the calendars are there for events.
Correct.
Your
we
email.
also post our flyers. We have links to other resources and upcoming workshops. And I'm proud to say that in the fall, when the school year starts, we will be releasing a new annual calendar that will have all of our workshops for the year posted on the website. So there may be additional trainings that we decide to have over the year, but the basic core curriculum for parents will be up on the website.
And one thing that we can definitely feel confident in is that what you are sharing with parents in the way of what content and what is important to their child's education is truly part of the standards and expectations in St. Lucie.
Yes.
Because we're going to be on that partnership track again.
Yes.
You have been amazing at working with the curriculum leads for English language arts, mathematics, social studies,
Oh, they've
science.
been amazing.
And not only that, with our technology and our student services, so much is there in the way of planning and really listening. And I've heard you talk about listening a great deal. You listen to what the parents need. You've listened and been very responsive and supportive to curriculum needs. When you entered that building, the Parent Academy, which is located, help me with the address.
2940 South US 1,
okay, and
Suite 12.
It's in that Save-A-Lot Center.
That
right?
is the best way for people to find it.
Okay.
Yes, is the Save-A-Lot, right down the corridor from Save-A-Lot.
It is definitely an inviting facility. You mentioned the computers that are there. There's a resource room. There's a room interactive for young children, lots of print-rich materials,
Yes.
an environment that is conducive to teaching and learning. Some of the things that you talked about with the curriculum folks who came in to partner in this role, did that help spur you to work on different aspects of the community calendar, and if so, what is that?
Yes, it did. Obviously, the social media was one of the first things that we discussed, and how to do the parenting around those pieces. But in addition to that, I've also learned that some of our young learners coming into school were lacking, oh help me, fine motor skills. There you go. It took me a second. But they were lacking that, and it never dawned on me personally that that might be something we should really incorporate until I heard it from the curriculum leads. And when they started talking about our kids are coming in and they don't know how to pick up small things or tie, or because they're so used to using tablets now and smartphones, so they're really lacking those fine motor skills. So that is one of the things we looked at, and I found that we had tons of measuring tools and little small manipulatives that we can take with us to workshops to show parents how to increase the fine motor skills. So we've been working on that, utilizing penny activities so they can pick up pennies, helping them tie, and at the same time making it fun, because we don't want anybody to feel like, okay, let's sit down, we got to do our manipulative work now. It's got to be engaging, it has to be fun. So we're tying that to stories, and we're tying that to other activities that young learners need so that we can make it fun and interactive, and the parents can actually replicate that at home.
Correct. That is so important. It's not something that they're going to come to the Parent Academy and see some tool that is sophisticated or has to be ordered from a particular company. These are real world, everyday objects, parts of kitchen that can help support literacy, mathematics, science, and
yes.
Social studies with the understanding of our world. Yes, and still
and they can eat it maybe when they're done, or play with it. Or, yes.
Well, and too, with early learning, just that verbal interaction, that oral language development is so very important.
Yes.
And that's a big piece of it as well.
And we've been doing something around sight words also, developing some curriculums around sight words. But one of the things that personally struck me, if I may talk about this for a minute, is the math curriculum. Because as an adult myself, who was never, I would say I was never the best math student. I found myself intimidated sometimes helping my daughter with her math. When she got probably around 7th or 8th grade, I found her math was getting very complicated for me. Not only that, I also found that I didn't understand the way she was doing the math. It was foreign to me. And I heard this from other parents, but I kept thinking, well, it's just because we're not great math people. But then I had an opportunity to meet with the curriculum lead, and she spoke that this is a common problem that a lot of parents are having, that they just don't understand the new math, is what parents will call it, when really it is about teaching your children the concept of math so that they understand why they have to get to this answer so that it stays with them. It's not just memorizing, whereas I can say in our math days, we memorized. We memorized our timetables, what we called it back then, or multiplication chart. Now they're actually teaching the process. Know the process. Know why you have to do this in your math. So we're looking at developing some curriculums around that, breaking down math so that it's very simple for parents and they understand why their kids are being taught this way. And I think that we're looking for some aha moments, because I myself still have aha moments when I'm looking at these math, and it's like, oh, I get it. I wish I had learned that when I was doing math. It would have been so much easier. But I think it's important for us to support parents in that so that they don't feel intimidated and that they're still able to help their children all the way through school.
Very true. As we look at preparing our students for the world of work and college, they do need to be problem solvers, and they can't go into what the future holds as far as needs and job skills by being told how to solve a problem. They've got to see the problem, understand the processes behind the different ways to attack it, and then be very innovative as they move forward. And that's really what you're talking about, understanding the concept behind it. Now, certainly we still want fluency in our reading and fluency in our awareness of our mathematics facts, but being aware of the process is definitely a key. So asking a lot of questions and having students share the whys behind what they're thinking is a wonderful way to engage students and parents in the learning process.
I agree. And it strengthens the parents' skills too. It can only help them also.
You also had an opportunity to meet with our Student Services Department, and you know, St. Lucie Public Schools does offer such a rich array of services to support students with varying needs, and helping parents understand how to access these services is something that I know you felt very compelled to help put out there. And so what are your plans to help parents understand what is available for their students, whether gifted maybe someone needs some help with just reading comprehension, a wide array of needs.
And again, I'm going to go with personal experience. I have two children, I could say, that are on very opposite sides of the spectrum. I have a daughter who is very gifted and has been in honors and AP classes her whole educational career. And then I have a son who has a learning disability and has struggled, and we've had to find different ways to educate him. So it was something I heard from other parents too, it wasn't just me, that they weren't quite, well, let me go back to my personal story. I know the first IEP meeting, which is an individual education plan meeting that I went to for my son, I was so intimidated because there was all these people sitting around the table, and they were speaking in acronyms, and they were speaking about educational resources I knew nothing about, and it felt a little intimidating. And I thought, wow, I'm a fairly intelligent person. I thought I knew how to navigate the school system, but when you get in there, sometimes it can be a little challenging, and it's just lack of my own knowledge. So I thought, wouldn't it be great if we could support parents and have them understand what's expected of them at these IEP meetings, or help them understand what the school board can do to support them better? I think a lot of times, again, going back to myth and limiting beliefs, parents get information from other parents, and they'll say, well, the school board can or can't do this, or the school board does or doesn't do this. And I think it's a lot of times just dispelling that myth, helping them understand that the services department or the student services department is there to help them. And it's about asking those questions, increasing that communication, what questions to ask to get the answers you're looking for. So in that line, I spoke yesterday with a lot of the specialists from the student services, and we discussed what things the parents need, and I am happy to say that they have been wonderful, and they are pulling together some workshops that they will deliver through the Parent Academy themselves, and that is all focused on the parent getting their needs met. So it's going to be things such as how to have a successful IEP meeting, how to get your student in the best classroom for their needs. So I look forward to supporting the parents in that. And one of the things I think that is most important is I would like to have what's called a parent leadership group, where we actually have parents who have children of varying disabilities, or who have children maybe that are gifted in the honors programs, and have them come to the table and tell us, what struggles did you face? What do you think parents behind you need to know? How can we better support parents? So I am looking for active parents that could give us that feedback, and we're going to be starting that leadership group next month. So I will be putting the word out to any parents to call me, to contact me through the website or through Facebook if they're interested in being part of that. And it's a great time to get your voice heard.
We will help you in that effort. What an advocate you are for all children and parents in St. Lucie. So pleased and honored to be a part of the solution you are bringing to our community and working together with you. You have a commitment from us to be there by your side in these efforts. And you mentioned parents that want to get involved, that they can follow you on Facebook and look online. I would invite parents who are interested in being involved in either actively supporting the Parent Academy or participating in workshops that the Parent Academy has to please visit their website or the St. Lucie Public School website. Please follow us on Facebook, because we will be supporting and publishing the events that the Parent Academy holds in honor of supporting literacy efforts and building stronger families in St. Lucie County. Thank you.